On the channel, we discussed plenty of fantastic war dramas, such as Saving Private Ryan, The Thin Red Line, 1917. All fantastic, people know them. But there is one war drama that I feel like a lot of people should know, like one that had no audience for when it was released 23 years ago. That being Joel Schumacher's Tigerland. Only made like thousands, like within the $1,000 range at the box office. So yeah. Tigerland is just a really great movie. Where do I start? Let's see. All right. This film was Colin Farrell's breakout role, and his performance in here is just like it's a performance that you can't look away from. He just controls so many of the moments that he's in. There are some times where you may root for him, sometimes where there are some times where you'll root for him, but then there may be some times where you may not root for him. I don't even know what I'm saying. But the point I'm trying to get is that Colin Farrell's performance here is amazing, and if we didn't have Tigerland, then that means no In Bruges, no Banshees, no Batman, none of the other fantastical movies that Colin Farrell's been a part of. What else was the cast? Okay, there were some people within this cast that did surprise me. The one that did surprise me was Michael Shannon. I wasn't expecting to see him in the movie. Matthew Davis as Jim Paxton was also great. Literally everyone in here just gave off such authentic performances. Like, I really just cared for their character. Like, I was deeply, interested and fascinated by their characters, whether they were getting tortured by, tortured and abused by the military generals. And it's a really great insight on what goes on within a soldier's mind whenever they're within these situations. Like in this case, it's this is around Vietnam. This film takes place within the early 70s. Couldn't imagine what it before watching Tigerland, I couldn't imagine what it was like for those soldiers to go through all that. But after watching it, I now understand. There's also just some really great shots, some great silhouette shots, establishing shots, slow panning shots. Schumacher's directing really shines in here. I think back then we tend to give a lot of... Back then we gave a lot of flack to Schumacher because of the 2 Batman films he did, but I felt like I wasn't seeing much praise for him for some of the other films he's done, like St. Elmo's Fire, The Lost Boys, some of the other movies he's done. Like, films like Tigerland showcase that Schumacher is a great director. I just think maybe we were too distracted to really see that. This film also has a great... I mentioned that this film has a great style. I also love the green color palette for some of the shots. And the action scenes are also just insane. I also love how a lot of the film is very focused on character, and I also loved the fact that there's not a whole lot of music playing in the film. It gives off this documentary style, and there are some shots like some zoom ins that kind of feel like it's documentary. I thought that was a really interesting thing to point out. It's like, I was surprised I even caught that. And there are just so many great moments. Like, one of the funnier moments in the film was like when the two characters, Farrell's character and Matthew Davis's, they were like on the roof wanting to jump, and then Farrell's like 1, 2, 3, and they just don't. And then that cracked me up. Tigerland is just awesome. Part of me is like kind of questioning myself on why I kept pushing this one off for so long. Because much like, say, films like The Girl Next Door, Joyride, I actually ended up really liking them. Like, they surprised me. Like, I thought I was going to be like, yeah, this is going to be alright. But no, these movies are actually very entertaining. And I do hope, like, the general public, or this gets more attention by the general public. Because this is a war film I feel like we should be talking about a lot more. So yeah, I do recommend checking out Tigerland. It's really, you're really going to get something out of it that you may not see in other war films.